Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Ivanhoe. Welcome back to another episode of Automobiles of Distinction. I want to thank you all for coming here today because we have a piece of Ferrari legend behind us. This 1963 Ferrari 250 GT Lusso. When we speak about cars like this, when we speak about true investment grade vintage Ferraris, Lamborghinis, each car has its own identity, and this car is no exception. Its chassis number is 5163 GT. To us, this is name 5163. This car was delivered new through Luigi Chinetti, who was the official US importer of Ferrari at the time, up until very recently. This was a California car. Not only do we have a formidable stack of records on it that goes back a while, which nothing tells a story like paper. And so this car has a wonderful story to tell, but the story that a lot of paperwork tells is love. So what you see with this car over the years is that this car was very loved, very cared for. It was first restored in the 1980s. And driven relatively sparingly thereafter. And so this car, fortunately, was not really monkeyed with. So by the time it wound up in the hands of the previous owner in 2013, it was relatively unmolested. It had one restoration. It was, by the time when he bought it, it was red, as a lot of Ferraris in the 1980s became red. Resale red. And so by the time he got it, he wanted to do justice to the car. It had already been restored, so it was no longer an original thing. So there was no harm in re-restoring the car. So he undertook a restoration that was very thorough, very painstaking, and very, very authentic. And those efforts were rewarded when he brought the car to the Cavallino Classic in 2017, which for cars like this, and even in more modern cars, so Cavallino is the premier Ferrari Club of America concours event where FCA does their judging on the car. And to receive a platinum award means that the car receives a score of 97 points or greater. It's a testament to the authenticity of the car in its presentation at that time. It's not about how shiny your paint is. It's not about how bright your chrome is. It's about how authentic the car is, which to real car enthusiasts, that's what it, at least in our opinion, that's what it should be all about. It's how correct the thing is. Cavallino is really the gauntlet for a car like this. If a car gets platinum here, it is a statement that this thing is really authentic. It is like, it's almost 100% the way the car rolled out of the factory. Look, getting a platinum award for a car that's 10 years old, if I'm honest, 10 or 15, even 20 years old, honestly, it's not that challenging. A car like this, different story. You have almost 60 years of time that's passed since the car was produced. Even the smallest thing, like the color and markings on your spark plug boots, if that's incorrect, you're getting a point off. Or in that case, in that particular situation would be a half point off, but still. As a result, getting that kind of a score is really a testament to the car. So the previous owner gets the car, drives it for a little while, but then spends close to 3 years restoring the car. And the proof of the quality and dedication that he had to the car was evidenced in that award at Cavallino, but then was further reinforced when Ferrari requested the car to be displayed at Pebble Beach as part of its 70th anniversary celebration. So not only is this a platinum winning car, not only is it a numbers matching car, not only is it a really righteous, unmolested, no stories car, it was a car that Ferrari the company acknowledged as being one of the finest Lussos they had available, and they exhibited that at what is the Super Bowl of car shows as an example of the best Lusso. So you have this as a shining example of the best Lusso. So that's what we're working with here, and we can say that, look, we've had a bunch of Lussos at Cultivated. I mean, over the course of almost 10 years, I've driven a lot of them, had a bunch of them, and I can say with no hesitation, this is the finest driving example that I've ever piloted. It drives the way it looks. It's fantastic. The 250 series of cars, and really honestly Ferrari's entire reputation has been built on the V12, and specifically the Colombo V12. And we have a saying around here that there's certain engines that when you're in it and you're driving and you're working up through the rev range and everything is dialed in just the right way, that it's like the heavens open and all the angels are singing at you. One of the single most definitive experiences of that kind of thing is a Colombo V12 powered Ferrari, and this is no exception. I mean, you put your foot in this car and even at low RPM, it sets you back in the seat and it just keeps on going and going and going, and as the RPMs wind up, it just sings the symphony. It gets louder and louder and more beautiful, and it's just goading you into you want to keep going, and you want to stay in it, and then you just grip another gear and you do it all over again, and you wind that one out and then you get another gear and you do it all over again. It's magical. So the 250 series of cars, 3-liter V12, they achieved a great deal of success in the most competitive categories in international sports car racing with these engines. So, for example, at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 250 Testarossa, hugely successful car. So, 3-liter sports cars were sort of the benchmark for what was going on at that time, and they were, again, wildly successful. So Ferrari parlayed that success into their road cars. They were taking what they were developing on the racetrack and refining it for what would ultimately happen on the street. So it is not a stretch to say that even though this car behind us, which is a comfortable car, it is a lovely car to drive, but it has everything about it has its DNA and its origin on the actual racetrack, which is something that few modern Ferraris really can say. I mean, pretty much every single modern Ferrari begins its life as a road car and is then evolved into a race car. Not the case here. It went the other direction, which in our humble opinion is the best way to go. We want to thank you again so much for coming by and watching this video. You know, we're not just dealers, we're historians, and it means so much to us to be able to share what these cars are all about. So thank you so much for coming by. We're gonna keep on doing this, so please don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Matthew Ivanhoe, president of the Cultivated Collector, and we'll see you next time.